OSU history against Bolden?
Describe it, Victor.
It was great to go out there and get a win, and we got to clean some things up, but we'll be ready for next week.
What about your record run or second longest in OSU history?
Just hats off to those guys up front making the blocks, and Jordan Villam outside, sealing off that edge, and he gave me an opportunity to hit the sideline, and I was able to make the play.
Did you realize the significance of it at the time?
I didn't.
It's the second longest
Yeah.
ever since Baker.
I didn't know that until guys told me after the game, so it's a good feeling.
Darell, that offense was a little inconsistent today. I know you guys haven't looked at the film, but anything that you can think of off the top of your head that you want to work on this week?
Like I said a couple weeks ago, I just want to work on the timing with the wide receivers again, and really having the trust and anticipation with those guys, getting the ball out quicker, so there is no pressure, there's no need to scramble or anything. So we're just going to take that into next week and keep building upon it.
You did okay scrambling. Did it feel good?
Yeah, I mean, it felt all right, but I'd rather be back there throwing. So.
Darell, just emotionally, I mean, I know you weren't playing last season, but it's been a long time since this program won a game. Just how do you guys balance the emotions of getting a win, but also I know you guys want to play better than this?
We got to act like a mature group, and we got to come back. And I mean, it's nice to get a win, but we have a very tough opponent next week, and we know that, and we're going to come back and get prepared starting tomorrow. So we just got to, get over this one pretty quick and get on to next week.
For both of you, how much does a game like this, getting to play again, prepare you for a team like the Boise State?
I think just getting a W feels nice. Gets a lot of confidence under people's belts. Other than that, we know what we got ahead of us. So.
Yeah, what Darell said, builds confidence within the team, and we see what we need to work on for next week, and we're gonna clean that up and make sure we're ready to go.
15 days between games, did that almost feel like a second season opener?
Felt like almost a second season opener. It was good to get back on the field.
Figure to pop a long one like that with the offense. It was kind of, wasn't pretty for much of the first half. What would that mean to the offense to pop a long one like that?
I felt like it gave us a little momentum. It was great job, like I said, by the O-line. Sparking that run and Jordan sealing the edge on the outside. And, we, as you can see, if we execute our job, good things can happen for us.
Talking about that O-line, Darell, we obviously talked about it a lot over the course of the last week and a half, 2 weeks. What were your thoughts on the O-line after Thanksgiving?
I thought they did pretty well, Idaho State was given some different looks that we haven't seen on film before. So for them to be able to adjust mid-game, mid-play, honestly, I was pretty proud of those guys. There's some things we need to shore up, but it's only the second game, so third game. Third game is usually when people start to get comfortable. So I expect these guys to come out, and they've been busting their butts, and I know they have. So, they'll be prepared.
Darell, kind of the highs and lows of the passing game today. What maybe wasn't where you wanted it to be in the passing game?
Just a couple of anticipation throws, a couple to Vic that I missed that I really wanted. Other than that, it's give and take here and there, so it is what it is.
Darell, can you talk about getting involved with Victor here? It seems like he's the sort of player in this league that, if he can get him the ball in space 4 or 5 times, 6 times in a game, some good things are going to happen.
Yeah, like when we call him quick six, you never know how fast those 6 points can come. So just getting the ball to him is very big, and just let it get in his hands. He's a playmaker. He knows what to do with it. So, I'm comfortable with him, and he's comfortable with me. So I think just getting the ball to him a little bit more and letting him do his thing in space.
What about the running game today? It seemed that, you picked a lot of yardage yourself and threw it over Ryan, and obviously was it a little uneven, or in what ways can you get better running game-wise?
I thought we did a pretty good job. The rushing yards, it was up there. So, I thought we did what we needed to do up front as far as in the run game. Once we got momentum going too, it was pretty good. So we just can't shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties. And once we get over that, then I think we'll have sustainable drives.
Anything else? Thank you, guys.
Okay, overall, first of all, it's great to get a win, without question. it's been a long time since these kids have tasted victory, so they need to enjoy it. They need to enjoy it the right way. Obviously, start to prepare tomorrow for a big challenge out there for us. Positives in the game, the turnovers on defense was a big positive. I felt like other than the big run, you give up a 75-yard run and they run the ball 20-some-odd times, then your yards per carry are going to look pretty bad. That was obviously not a good play. For the rest of the runs, I thought they did a pretty nice job. They flew to the football, gave up 7 points. Could have, would have, should have been 0 to get a shutout. Would have been nice, but it didn't happen. And offensively, we have to find an identity. So that's about where I got it. I don't see enough of a consistent nature there for us to be able to win games at this point. And there's players in certain spots to be able to do it, and we have to work as players and coaches to get them to that spot, and we'll continue to do that. I think especially with some of the threats we have on the outside, and we need to throw it better, we need to catch it better, we need to not self-destruct with penalties. Numerous times today we got taken off pace with penalties. So we should, after 2 games, be able to understand a little bit better who we are, understand what our limitations are, and give our kids the opportunity to move the ball down the field. And I look forward to that happening, and we need to also continue to do that on the defensive side of the football. I thought Nick punted the ball very well. Garrett kicked it well, missed the one, but I thought he had some nice kicks there, obviously. And from there, I'll take your questions.
Coach, you talked about the fact that it was nice to get them a win. As the coach, to see your players smile again at the end of the game, what was that like?
No, it was great to see him smile. And, I think it's important for me personally to doing this and being the old crusty guy that I am, to make sure that I don't ever forget that, and for me too, because when I go upstairs and see my wife, first thing she's to do is probably slap me in my face and say, "Shut up." So enjoy to win, and I will, and I want them to also do that. I also want them to understand that it's hard to win no matter who you play, and but we have to know where we're at. You have to be able to look at what was good, bad, and indifferent, and jump right back in this thing and keep fighting. Because we all know we have a lot of work to do.
Coach said they were looking for identity on offense, but clearly had five turnovers on defense. Is that
huge.
your identity? Do you want to say, hey, if we can win that turnover margin every game, we'll be in good shape?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you go that turnover margin, you're going to win a bunch of football games. It's very difficult to do. But you want to be, your goal is to get 3 turnovers a game. If you play 70 snaps, you'd like to get 3 turnovers. At the end of the year, you'd like to have 30-plus turnovers on your defensive side of the ball. So today is a good step towards that, without question. And we want to be a defense that is aggressive the way we rush the passer. And I thought we won some one-on-one battles today, which was good to see. We didn't have to draw up the blitzes to get there all the time, so that was a positive. So, those turnovers were absolutely huge. And then our ability to capitalize on them is really important.
Going back to the offense, Darell was having to scramble a little bit
Yeah.
more today, which I know that was a big point of emphasis coming out of the Minnesota games. Where do you kind of assess where the offensive line is right now?
We'll have to sit back and really study the tape, and you got to get the ball out. So however you get the ball out, you got to get the ball out. So we'll continue to work at it and grind away getting the ball to those 3 receivers that are outside. And we bring in Timmy, we bring in Trayvon. I think there's enough weapons out there to be able to get the ball out. But we have to get the ball out, and a quarterback cannot sit back there and just have his clock go off. Darell was running for his life, and he made a nice job today on some scrambles and did some good things. But it's going to be a work in progress. I'm not pointing the finger again at anybody but myself, and I have to make sure that I try to help the kids, and I try to help the coaches, and I'll do whatever I can to continually work that group. But all I can do is really give them support, to be quite honest with you. Coaches have got to get them coached up, and the kids have got to go out there and get it done. But we can adjust the scheme to get it to our playmakers, and then we have to be able to run the ball effectively. We can't get ganged up on. And, again, we got into a 4th and short. Wanted to go for that for the simple reasons because I wanted to go for that and get a 4th down, and we didn't again. We got stuffed. And those are situations that when you roll up your sleeves and go in and play with the big boys, one of those big boys is rolling in here a week from right now, you better find a way to get some of that stuff done.
Here you mentioned some of the penalties, there were a couple unsportsmanlike conduct, a bit uncharacteristic
Yeah, both. I mean, I absolutely addressed them, and completely selfish. The celebration, they know how to celebrate. They talked about it. They made a selfish decision, both of them, and it can't be tolerated if you're ever going to be a good team, okay? Or you'll just be a bad team forever. And you can't be like that. You cannot make those decisions. Celebrate with your teammates. You have zero issues. They know how to celebrate, and I expect them to celebrate the right way. So I failed them. As head coach, I failed them. It's my fault. So it's also a position coach's fault, coordinator's fault. So we'll get them fixed, and we'll get the kids where they need to be. I think a couple of them were young freshmen who learned a lesson. Losing a spot, I don't care what his story is. There's no story about guy was doing this, guy was doing that. Doesn't matter. If you retaliate in that situation, you're going to get a 15-yard penalty. So excellent calls by the officials. Fully support them. And, hopefully our young men can learn from that, understand how to celebrate, understand it is a confrontational game. It is a dogfight out there every single snap, and people, if they can get into you, especially experienced teams, when we get into our conference and the team we're playing next week, if they can get in a jabbering match with you and have you get after them, they're trained at that. They'll be good at it. And any good team is trained to be able to, especially a freshman, get underneath the skin and hopefully have him make a bad decision.
Gary, after a close call Minnesota game that you could have won, and then what you saw today, have you seen the kind of improvement that you think that the team has what it takes now to win a big game like a quality opponent like Boise State coming in?
Well, we'll find out. We're a work in progress, and there's a lot of mistakes in there. Just the self-inflicted wounds that came from today in those certain situations. It's going to be very difficult to continually move the ball down the field against a very good defense that's proven to be a really good defense year in and year out. You cannot do that. You have to be able to find a way to stay on pace, and we've proven that if we have an opportunity to stay on pace and stay with the down and distances, it's a much better offense than when you're in a position you're backed up and you get out of that normal circumstance. On defense, you're going to see, from week 1 to week 2, it's better without question. Now you're going to get yourself into another big boy fight, and it's going to be a very, very physical football game, and you're going to have a team that has, all the bells and whistles. And they're going to make you play good, solid, stout defense, or they're going to take advantage of you. So I'm excited about the challenge that's in front of us, just like all the challenges that are in front of us. I think our kids understand the challenge that's in front of us, and they'll have to prepare like crazy and play very well to have an opportunity to win.
Obviously, every game is important, but to be frank, what would a win against Boise State mean for you as a program right now?
It'll be a big step because we have such respect for them and where we are and where they are and where they've been and where we're working to go. So they're a quality opponent, and I have a ton of respect for what they've done. Competed against them a few times in my career, but you see them from afar, and they do a nice job. We also recruit against them, like many of the schools do in the Pac-12. And for us to be able to go into that position and continually, play well, get a win in those scenarios, it always helps you in recruiting if you're in that position. So, but that win will have to be well earned.
You mentioned the 5 turnovers, but still Idaho State was able to move the ball, especially kind of in the middle of the field. Just what did you see, particularly from their passing game, that they were able to get some chunk plays and that sort of thing?
Well, I thought the quarterback, did a nice job of reading and identifying between our man coverages and some of our zone coverages and our concepts as far as where we were blitzing from. It's hard to see until I really get out and see the tape. Our reaction at times can be cleaner and quicker from the back end. I think our hands can get up even better on the defensive front. They're going to get some yards and move the ball around a little bit, but we bowed up when we had to. So that's going to be a big evaluation piece. I thought they had some nice-looking kids out there that made some plays. A big, tall wide receiver, number 11, I think, if I remember right. Had some kids that made some plays, and 28 runs the ball really hard. I mean, he runs hard now. He's not going to back down from you. We good?